Hello everyone and welcome to the session 11 of Unit 4 Drilling and Milling Machine for the course 15ME 43T. Myself Muhammad Imran. So in the today's session we are discussing about the remaining milling operation which I have discussed earlier and all about the indexing in the milling machine. So next the milling operation is groove cutting. As you know that groove cutting is nothing but producing groove on the uh, work surface. It is the operation of producing groove on the surface of the workpiece by saw milling cutter or end milling cutter. So the purpose for producing groove we are using saw milling cutter and end milling cutter. The workpiece is fixed firmly on the milling machine and fixing the end milling cutter or side milling cutter on the arbor. By adjusting the depth of cut, the work is fed against the cutter to cut the groove on the work surface. So next is gang milling machine. So the gang milling machine is used for producing different uh, producing several surfaces at a time on the workpiece simultaneously by feeding the workpiece against the number of cutters. So in case of gang milling, we have the arbor consists of more than one milling cutter. So they are operated simultaneously on the workpiece to produce several surfaces. And some of the cutter is producing flat surfaces, whereas other cutters are producing grooves and slots, etc. at a time simultaneously. This will saves the time of production. The workpiece, the milling cutters which are having the same diameter or different diameter on the arbor. This operation saves the large machining time and it is widely used for repetitive work. So when there is a repetitive work of similar kind of operation is performed on the workpiece, then we are preferring gang milling machine or gang milling operation. The cutting speed and of the gang milling cutter is calculated from the cutter of the larger diameter. So the cutting speed, feed, depth of cut is calculated on the basis of the larger milling cutter which is mounted on the arbor. Next is indexing. So indexing is nothing but dividing the outer surface or outer periphery of the workpiece into equal number of parts. For example, if you are making a hexagonal bolts on the cylindrical surface, so in order to machine the hexagonal head, you have to machine 6 flat surfaces. So we are to make 6 surfaces here. So dividing the outer faces into equal number of parts is known as indexing. The indexing is the operation of dividing the periphery of the workpiece into any equal number of parts. For example, hexagonal headed bolts we require 6 equal parts. While cutting the spur gear, also in cutting the spur gears which having equal number of teeth, we have to rotate the workpiece by an equal amount every time after machining of one teeth. We have to move the teeth in an equal amount on the outer surface. If it is rotated manually, then there is a lot of mistakes of human error will come in case of manual indexing. So in order to avoid that, the milling machine is provided with the indexing mechanism, so which provide accurate indexing or dividing the outer surfaces of the workpiece into equal number of parts, which is very helpful in cutting gear teeth and hexagonal headed bolt or square faces or any equal number of parts where indexing is very necessary. So if it is not provided, the mechanism is not there, then you have to do manually, which increases the human error, and the quality of the work surface is also is bad in case of manual indexing. The indexing can also be used for producing square or hexagonal bolts, cutting splines on shaft, fluting drills, taps, reamers, etc. The indexing can be achieved by using special attachment known as dividing head or indexing head. So some special attachment is used in milling machine, which is known as dividing head or index head, which is used for dividing the indexing purpose only. So which is only possible in milling machine. So indexing method. So these are the different methods which are used for obtaining indexing on the work surface, that is direct indexing, simple indexing, angular indexing, compound indexing and differential indexing. So let us discuss the simplest indexing. So simple indexing is simplest of all the indexing method. It is also known as plain indexing. It is more accurate and having a large number of indexing than rapid indexing. So it is more accurate. The simple indexing is more accurate and a larger range is possible in simple indexing, so that it is widely used. For indexing, the dividing head spindle is turned by a index crank. So for indexing purpose, this dividing head or index is rotated by index head is rotated by a index crank as shown in figure. So this is the index crank. So this is the index crank which is used for the producing index on this workpiece. So this is the index head. So this index head consists of a worm wheel which is having 40 teeth usually. The index crank is mounted on the worm shaft, which is having a single thread cutted on its end, which is known as worm. So this worm is meshed with this worm wheel, which is having 40 teeth. So if you rotate this index crank by one complete rotation, since it is consist of 40 teeth and this worm consists of only single thread, in order to rotate if you rotate this index crank by one complete rotation, the worm wheel is rotated by 1/40th revolution. So if you rotate this index crank by one rotation, this index wheel will rotate by 1/40th revolution. This index wheel index spindle is mounted with this cutter. So cutter is this workpiece is mounted on this index head, which is also rotated by 1/40th revolution. So wide variety of rotation is possible in case of index crank. So in a simple construction, so the worm shaft is carrying the crank. This is the worm shaft carrying the index crank. Has a single threaded worm. This is a single threaded worm at the end, which meshes with the worm wheel, which is having 40 teeth. So this worm wheel is having 40 teeth, which is meshes with the single threaded worm. So the one complete rotation of the index cranks causes the worm wheel to rotate 1/40th rotation, which is mounted on the workpiece. So workpiece also rotated by 1/40th revolution. So 40 turns of the crank, 40 turns of the crank is necessary. This 40, you have to rotate this crank by 40 times in order to rotate this worm wheel for one complete rotation. One complete turn of the index crank will causes the worm wheel to rotate 1/40th revolution. To facilitate the indexing fraction of turn, index plates are used to cover practical all numbers. So there is the index plate here, which practically it is possible to achieve all the turns. So the plates number, there are 3 plates, consist of 3 plates. The first number is having 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, 27, 29, 31 and 33. The third number plate consists of 37, 39 to 49. So in order to find the index crank movement, how much crank has to be rotated, divide the number, any number by 40. So suppose which is division required on the workpiece. Suppose if you want a 6 division on the workpiece, you have to rotate the index crank by 40 by 60, 6, that is I'll tell you. Suppose if you want, if you are machining the hexagonal head, then you have to require 6 equal faces, 6 equal parts. Then you have to rotate the crank by 40 divided by 6, that is 6.66 times. So you have to rotate the index wheel by 6.66 times. So you have to rotate the index wheel by 6.66 times. So in order to find the index crank movement, divide 40 by a number of division required on the work. Suppose if you want to 4 division, then you have to divide 40 by 4, that is 10. So you have to rotate the index crank So this index crank by 10 times. You have to rotate this index crank 10 times in order to get 4 division on the workpiece. So similarly, any turn is possible in case of this simple indexing, where n is the number of division required on the workpiece. Index crank moment is given by the formula 40 by n. So n is the number of division required on the work surface. So next is compound indexing. Compound indexing, there are two separate movements of the index crank in two different holes. So in case of compound indexing, we have two separate movement of the index crank, whereas in simple indexing we have only one indexing crank, whereas in case of compound indexing we have two separate movements of index crank in two different holes, whole circle of the index plate to get the crank movement. The index plate is held stationary. The index plate is held stationary by a lock pin which engages with the whole of the circle of the index plate from the back. For indexing, first the crank pin is rotated by required number of spaces in one of the whole circle of the index plate, and then pin is engaged with the plate. The net moment of the sum of two movement, the net moment is the sum of two movement. The second index movement is done by removing the rear lock pin and then rotating the plate together with index crank forward and backward to the calculated number of spaces of another whole circle, and then two lock pin is engaged. So in case of compound indexing, there are two separate index plate. So in case of simple indexing, there was only one index crank, but in case of compound indexing, we have two different index cranks which has to be rotated separately. The sum of the movement is the net movement of this workpiece is the addition of these two movement of the cranks. 40 by n equals to n1 by n1 plus n2 by n2. The formula for rotation of the crank is given by index crank is given by 40 by n equals to n1 plus n1 small n1 n2 by capital N2, where n is the number of division required. So this is the number of division required. So if you want 10 division, then you have to divide 40 by 10, that is you have to rotate the index crank by 4, but not by 4. We have two different crank here. So first you have to rotate n1 by n1, that is n1, small n1 is the spaces moved by the crank pin in n1 whole circle, and n2 is the spaces moved by the plate and crank pin in n2 whole circle. n1 is the whole circle used by the crank pin, n2 is the whole circle used by the lock pin. Okay, thank you for watching this session.